Let's get started then. My hair looks a lot better now that I put that stuff in it. Okay, let's get started with right-wing cope. It's been a week or so we should check it out. Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson announces he vetoed anti-trans bill HB 1570. Hutchinson says the bill was overloaded, restricting people's decisions, and sent a message about Arkansas that he did not want to send. At the same time, he notes that the legislature can still make an override vote by a simple majority. Notable that Hutchinson said specifically that he wants transgender people in the state to know they're loved, albeit in an answer defending his signing of the other two pieces of legislation that subject trans people to differential treatment. What's next? HB 1570 passed overwhelmingly in both chambers, so unless one chamber decides not to override, meaning a ton of lawmakers change their vote in the light of Hutchinson's veto, it could still become law. This is possible. It happened with another bill. It'll probably become law, but still, nonetheless, good for that guy.
Hello? Is this the goddamn base department?
Jesus Christ, I hate Destiny. Someone sent this link. YouTube is letting a group fundraise off a kid that tells parents to reject their trans kid. Video has been viewed more than 1.5 million times. They've made over $50,000. PragerU is not an actual institution of higher learning. Quite the contrary. It's a right-wing propaganda outfit that spreads far-right misinformation online. But in an especially egregious violation of their own terms of service, YouTube is allowing the group to fundraise off a video that tells parents to reject their transgender kids because the children have been brainwashed by social media. The 5-minute video features anti-trans author Abigail Shrier, oh, that lady, and runs through a litany of bogus facts cherry-picked to fit her assertions. Some of these statistics and statements she made are verifiably false. Shrier testified as a Republican expert during a Senate committee hearing on the Equality Act, landmark civil rights legislation for the LGBTQ people. Her testimony deliberately used incorrect pronouns and demeaning language to oppose the bill. The video focused on youth while referring to them as children to make them seem younger. It particularly focuses on trans boys, describing them as girls to reinforce the conservative ethos that women should be protected from nefarious forces who want to violate their bodies. Quote, 10 years ago, it was unlikely that you knew someone who identified as transgender. Today, it's unlikely that you don't know someone who identifies as transgender. Wow, it's almost like people are more comfortable coming out now because society is becoming more tolerant. Weird. This is especially true of teenage girls. The video's description reads, saying that Shrier, quote, analyzes this disturbing trend and its implications, end quote. This video has been viewed more than 1.5 million times as of publication. Not far above the description is the notice that the video was part of a fundraising push by the group. The sidebar shows PragerU has raised almost $53,000 from the solicitation that denigrates troubled girls, end quote, who, quote, buy into the fantasy that gender transition is the answer, end quote. While the site has previously removed the videos and PragerU promotes that fact as proof of how dangerous and truthful they are, this one has been allowed to remain. YouTube's giving program rules require that content providers follow the site terms of service that supposedly protects transgender people from untrue and denigrating explainers like this one. Twitter and Facebook have similar restrictions on anti-transgender content posted to the sites. The video was tweeted by PragerU and remains online at publication. The video was also posted to their Facebook page without repercussion. That really, really sucks. Hopefully YouTube will do something, but they won't, because it's YouTube, and YouTube is trash. Oops, sorry, one sec. Okay, let's see what's next.
Have one life, and you're gonna waste it listening. You really only have one life, and you're gonna waste it listening to degenerate.
Yeah, see, I don't like that, let me tell you.
Degenerate rap? Are you serious? What is this, the 1980s, 90s?
Why? See, I grew up in southern India.
Baja says, you're incredibly beautiful today, every day, but today in particular. I'm so lucky I get to see your face every day for the rest of my life. Oh, thank you, Baja.
Indiana, meaning a good amount of my childhood consisted of listening to country music. And for those of you who don't know, country music is not very clean. The songs talk about sex a lot. And there's also a ton of references to substances, both legal and illegal. Like, a lot of references. So naturally, I'm curious as to why rap music was the one they singled out as being degenerate. That being said, I do have a working theory.
You really
That's pretty good. Wolfenstein says, make America Nazi-free again. Because this is Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, when they tweeted this, and the plot of that game, if you don't know, is that it's like an alt timeline where the Nazis won and took over America. So they're talking about their video game. Levi de Rossier says, cool, didn't know Bethesda teamed up with SJWs and Antifa. Defending Nazism, literal Nazism, not even neo-Nazism, defending fictional alt history Nazis to own the libs. The right's nailing it lately. Ma Free Stuff says, women's suffrage was a mistake. No future civilization make again. Oh, good grammar. Proof, 2020 women's votes. Oh, the proof that they think women shouldn't vote is that women vote for people they didn't vote for. Beautiful. It's always a good move to try and take away voting rights from people you disagree with. That's definitely the point of democracy. Goddamn, am I glad this is caught on around here. Women are the biggest teenagers in the house. Oh, that's good. Infantilize 50% of the population. That's another good strategy. It's not really catching on. I'm just the loudest voice. I will always get the white knights to roll up here in squads, though. These dang white knights, like Susan B. Anthony. What the fuck? Don't worry, I'll come out swinging if people's our arguments are sound. What is the grammar? There is zero benefit for women being given the right to vote besides my feels. What happened to no taxation without representation? Are women exempt from taxes now? I'm on board. I like the list of companies to boycott. Cancel culture will not take over. Have you guys seen this shit? There's like a list of companies that conservatives aren't supposed to solicit, the businesses they're not supposed to go to because they want to stop cancel culture. I used the cancel culture to stop the cancel culture. There was an abortion argument in class, and when someone said, they're killing the baby, I instantly said, let's go, in a da-baby voice out of instinct. What is wrong with me? Hey, that's pretty good. There's someone whose entire identity is wrapped up in a failed politician, so that's sad. It's always Florida. It's always Florida. Obama has been to more basketball games than times he's been to Israel. Okay? Yeah, I imagine most people have been to more sports games than they have been to Israel. Unless you live in Israel. What? Charlie Kirk says it amazes me the total misunderstanding of Marxism. Seriously? And then ellipses, but it's like a double ellipses. Okay. Yeah, they did a whole thing where they were getting accounts, racist accounts banned, basically. So that's good. Oh god, look at this one. So this is a Pepe, who's an alt-writer, with a slingshot, like he's Bart Simpson, a spray paint can, a skateboard that has an America First sticker and a Trump sticker, and he's wearing a MAGA hat backwards, and apparently the ADL... This is the ADL headquarters or something, which is stormtroopers, because clearly the Anti-Defamation League is akin to Nazis, because of course stormtroopers are analogous to, you know, you've seen the Star Wars, you get it. Traitors, liars. Oh no. Oh, and he's got a Christian necklace on, too. Beautiful. It does have Tim Pool energy. That frog is, in fact, Tim Pool. You're hiding unvaccinated people under your floorboards, aren't you? Imagine being such a piece of shit that you compare you not even being forced, but being told, like, hey, you should probably get a vaccination, not just for your health and the people around you, but for society as a whole. It would be a responsible thing to do. And your response is to be like, you're a Nazi for telling me to take medicine. I'm literally as oppressed as Jewish people during the Holocaust. Friggin' babies. This was going around. I saw this actually on the Great Awakening site, which is a QAnon board. They said, anyone able to travel to DC around May 5th, please let me know. We're having a rally. Be Griffin careful, honey pot potential high. Please provide more info on 5-5 plans. I was there on 1-6, that being the date of the Capitol insurrection attempt. Would be interesting in hearing more. And then they said, I'm in WebEX right now with the organization. It's getting planned right now. They will rent at least one bus and leave Dallas, where they're based, on the 5th and have the rally on the 8th. I will continue updating everybody as more info comes out. So I did see this actual thread in context. They were talking about some group that's trying to sue. I don't remember specifically who they're suing. I think they're trying to sue basically all 50 states for the election. And they filed some sort of lawsuit in DC or something. And they're going to go to DC to do a rally for that. This post said the 5th. And then posts under this, they replied and said, okay, it's going to be later because Congress isn't in session that week or something. So they are planning on going to DC and doing some sort of protest. Hopefully it remains a protest and not another instance of people dying because of right-wing cult idiots, but you never know. So keep an eye on that. The New York Times said Gates, that being Matt Gaetz, and his friend used Apple Pay and Cash App for drug-fueled sexual encounters in Florida hotels. Ooh, that's gonna leave a trail. Don't. If you're gonna do illegal activity, and I'm not telling you to, don't do illegal stuff. That's not a good idea. You're gonna go to jail. But if you're gonna do illegal stuff, why are you leaving a digital paper trail? Why are you using a debit card? Why are you using your PayPal or your Cash App? Like go pull money out of an ATM, Matt. Like, what are you doing? Jesus Christ. It's like he's never committed a crime in his life. Does this count as citation needed? I don't know. I don't run that bingo. Someone else does. This person says, I'm not homophobic. I don't hate gays. I just don't support that lifestyle or their choices. That's my least favorite thing that idiots say, is they'll be like, I don't hate you. I just hate you being you. Like, yeah, you hate me. Just say you hate me then. It's not fine, but there's nothing I can do about it. At least be honest about the fact that you hate me. Jesus. It's not a lifestyle. It's not a choice. And then this person says, nobody is born Oh, what? They say, nobody is born lesbian, gay, black, or trans. LGBT is a choice that directly counteracts God's plan for you. God loves you and it hurts you when you disrespect him like that. Oh. Yikes. Monsters, Inc. depicts children used for harvesting adrenochrome and loosh. I know about the adrenochrome conspiracy in the Q community, which we cover on Tinfoil Tuesdays, and, make fun of. I've not heard of loosh. I'm gonna have to, hold on, let me look this up. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I'm just looking it up. New Age term applied to energy produced by human beings that other entities use to feed from. It's also used to refer to the energy that is produced by suffering that entities feed, from books by Robert Monroe, maybe a play on the French word louche. Oh. It's like woo-woo bullshit. It's magical people energy. Gotcha. It's always nice when the bullshit's, you know, bullshit. Why is it mass shootings when dema idiots? That's the worst. Oh god, what do they call that when you put two words together? Someone remind me what that's called. Portmanteau. Thank you. That's the worst portmanteau I've ever heard. Dema idiots? It doesn't even flow into the other word. Whatever. Start gun control garbage. 0 mass shootings under President Trump. 0 mass shootings under Trump. Hold on. Mass shootings under Trump. False. In March 2021, after 2 deadly U.S. shootings, the first involved the killings of 8 people in Atlanta, Georgia, the second involving killing of 10 people in Boulder, Colorado, messages started circulating on social media claiming that mass shootings had resumed under President Joe Biden after they had all but disappeared under the former Republican President Donald Trump. Blah, 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 blah. Here's just a list of mass shootings that happened. In November 2017, 26 people were killed at a church in Sutherland Springs, Texas. February 2018, 17 people were killed in Parkland. In May 2018, 10 people were killed in Santa Fe, Texas. The point being, yes, there were mass shootings under Donald Trump, you idiots. There were fewer mass shootings during COVID because everyone was locked down, and places that were populous, malls, schools, offices, casinos, clubs, they're all closed. It's hard to do a mass shooting when there is no mass. You know what I mean? Like, don't do it anyway, but come on, this would take 5 seconds to fact check. Oh god, Marjorie Taylor Greene lifting weights says, "This is my COVID protection." Deadlifting weights and like, hey, it's good to be in shape. I'm really happy, you know, that anyone's in shape. That has nothing to do with you catching a virus. You're still gonna catch a virus, Marjorie. What? Oh god, it's a Trump scotch glass of some sort that says, "I'll be back." I sort of ironically want this. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Tacky Trump merchandise is the funniest thing. I would get a bunch of tacky Trump merchandise, but it's the kind of thing where I feel like if I do that and then someday I'm old and I store it all in an attic somewhere, like someone's gonna come across it after I die, and it would be like walking in and like going through your grandparents' stuff and finding like an iron cross. Like, you gotta be like, oh, I'd have to put a big note in there that's like, I bought this stuff ironically. I was not a party to the fashy thing that happened in the 2016 to 2020. Corporate needs you to find the difference between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture. I don't disagree. I just find that meme format in that particular case to be a little eye-rolling. Steve Dace says, "I'm opposed to tyranny against my bodily autonomy, regardless of whether it's from corporatists or communists, but thank you." Jesus Christ. Oh, did you see Nick Fuentes defending Matt Gaetz? Wait, no, he's banned from Twitch. I can't play him. Matt Gaetz voted against a human trafficking bill. Guess what he's under investigation for? Matt Gaetz is under investigation on suspicion of violating federal sex trafficking laws. In 2017, he cast the only vote against the human trafficking bill. The only vote. You know what his justification was, by the way? Was that he didn't want big government. If you don't want the government big enough to stop sex trafficking, why are you in the government? Like, that's the bare minimum I think literally everyone agrees they want the government to do. Ah, God. Rallies are back on the menu. Love this, man. This is from comments under a Trump interview from the Patriots.win or whatever it's called. Used to be the Donald.win. I always enjoyed watching President Trump's rallies. He really knows how to put on an exciting rally. I used to go to sleep listening to his rallies. Wow. Can you imagine having your entire identity this wrapped up in, like, a single politician? Wild. Wild mentality. I've never, in my life, liked a politician that much. It's creepy. This is another post from the Donald. The year is 2042. Rachel Levine is the first woman to be president. Making fun of trans people. There are now 92,109 genders. The only small businesses left are black-owned hair salons and drive-through strip joints. Wow, racist. They released Chinese-built Fossey bots to hunt down the last of the unvaxxed. Sex with anyone but trans people has been outlawed. That works out for me. I'm the last super straight white male, and this is my story. Oh my god. Don't you just love people who are racist, transphobic pieces of shit, and in the same breath will claim that they're the ones that are being, like, oppressed? I just want to tell everyone how much I fucking hate them. What a piece of shit. Matt Gates. Elon Musk says, if there's ever a scandal about me, please call it Elon Gate. Matt Gates says, deal, I want Gates Gate. Matt Gates is said to be investigated over possible sexual relationship with a girl, 17. There you go. Got your wish. Don't let your dreams be dreams, kids. Unless your dreams are transporting a minor across state lines for sex. Then probably leave that one in your dreams, because that's very illegal. Under no circumstances will I ever be vaccinated. Upvote if you concur. Oh my god. Guys, just get it. Just get it. You know what? Whatever. Fine. I'm getting mine Friday. If these people want to... I really, really wish there wasn't a concern that they could help mutate new forms of the virus, but there is. Mega Church talking about the Lil Nas X thing.
Montero, Call Me By Your Name music video, Lil Nas X is doubling down on his demonic imagery with the new Nike release, quote, Satan shoes. The classic Air Max 97s have been revamped by collaborators with the underworld
They're seriously just falling for the bait so hard, and it's so funny.
in mind, coming in a limited edition stock of 666 pairs. Each individually numbered 666
No, this isn't Joel Olstein.
in red and Percy.
Someone got a Caitlyn Bennett tattoo, and the legs look like they have duty on them, so that's fun. Don't know if you guys saw that. Who in their right mind gets a Caitlyn Bennett tattoo? Seriously. Mr. Burinson, please DM me. My father died while participating in a clinical trial for the Bofa vaccine, and I would like to tell his story. Please email me at this. Also, which is the Bofa vaccine? Is this a joke I don't get? Bofa. Hold on, I gotta Urban Dictionary this. Oh, Bofa D's. Got me. Mike Lindell doing pillow stuff.
What I'm talking about, Steve, is what I have been doing since January 9th. All the evidence I have, everything is going to go before the Supreme Court, and the election of 2020 is going bye-bye. It was an attack by other country, communism coming in.
Communism! famous communist Joe Biden, who's been trying to make cuts to Social Security his entire political career.
I don't know what they're going to do with it after they pull it down, but it's
But hang on a second.
I'm not falling for that one, Speedy Yoshi. Now I'm on the lookout. Sock on these nuts.
Donald Trump will be
Go ahead.
back.
Speaking of which, I got a pair of Gaff underwear for the first time, and they're fantastic. So if you're a trans woman and you like yoga pants as much as I do, and you don't want protrusions, check out Gaff underwear. They're pretty great.
In office in August. What I'm talking about, Steve, is what I have been doing since January 9th. All the evidence I have, everything is going to go.
What are Gaff underwear? They're underwear that look like normal underwear, but they have extra, like, padding and layers in the front to hide. I'm trying to avoid saying the word bulge, but that's the word. That's the word I need to say to explain. They keep things tucked also, yes.
Go before the Supreme Court, and the election of 2020 is going bye-bye. It was an attack by other country, communism coming in.
Communism! Fuentes says, everybody is willing to condemn Lil Nas X for his overtly satanic music video. Everybody? I think it's just reactionaries. But nobody wants to say anything about his open homosexuality. Maybe there's a connection there. Let's see. So noted fascist and dumbass Nick Fuentes. Oh yeah, this is this post. Bear in mind, this is a allegation. There's no confirmation of this post. But this is what someone said. So noted fascist and dumbass Nick Fuentes went to the same high school as me and graduated a couple years after me. In high school, he was a notorious weenie and shit his pants running the mile. If you reply to one of his tweets pointing this out, he'll block you almost immediately. And if you just tweet it yourself without even tagging him, he might too, because he searches his name like crazy. But he wasn't a fash in high school at all. He started being a MAGA guy because, in his own words, it was profitable. So after he graduated, everyone he knew lost all respect for him and wouldn't talk to him. So one Christmas break, he bought a massive amount of weed and offered to smoke people out, and everyone said no. So he went on this huge, now deleted Twitter rant at 6 a.m. Christmas Day, going on about how marijuana is the devil and makes you a communist or whatever. And people replied to it with screenshots of him texting them offering to smoke him out, LMAO. He enrolled at Boston University to, in his own words, engage liberals at one of the most left-wing schools in America in political debate. He got in because of legacy admissions and a legacy student scholarship, and then dropped out after, shocker, no one would talk to him because he was a virulent fascist. Then he tried to attend Auburn, but they rescinded his admission after learning he was at Charlottesville. Now his parents bankroll him, and he spends his free time fighting with the church across the street from his parents' house over their decision to fly a pride flag. Just wanted to share how pathetic this dude is. I hope every single word of that is true. I really do. Someone go, no, I'm not gonna, no, can't tell you to do that. Rules, gotta follow the rules. This language used against Trump supporters by the left is the same language used by Hitler in Nazi Germany. Just as Hitler singled out the Jews, the Biden administration has singled out Trump supporters and Christians to be the bad citizens. Stop being bad citizens, then. It's not about a race thing. It's about the fact that you have really, really terrible fashy opinions. You are the ones who closely resemble Nazis. Sorry. They're talking about re-education camps as well as... Who is talking about re-education camps? As well as punishing Trump supporters, threatening our jobs. Wrong R. Not even close. I don't know if I've ever seen someone make that grammatical mistake. They have brainwashed the youth of America with false narratives. It can't be that kids just see through your bullshit. It must be that they've been indoctrinated. They continue to demonize Trump supporters. Well, stop being demons then. They are systematically and purposely destroying our great country. Our freedom of speech has been taken away. We're being censored by the media. To remain silent, you become complicit. Shut up, Richard. Let's take a look at Right Wing Watch. They normally have some interesting videos. Marjorie Taylor Greene is raising money off her Mark of the Beast comments. She's using Gordon Klingenschmidt's Pray in Jesus' Name mailing list to do so. Fellow patriot Joe Biden and his Democrats have wasted no time in asserting more and more control over the American people. Has he even read the Constitution? Wasn't Marjorie a high school dropout? They want to defund the police so they can control who is protected, them, and who is not protecting you. I'm actually surprised there wasn't the 3 echoes around the them there. They want to cancel gender so they can even decide who can share a restroom with your daughter and be on a sports team. Hashtag cancel gender. Gender is canceled. Now they want to issue immunity passports so they can decide when you can go on a plane, go to work, and even leave your home. Get the vaccine then. Get it. That'd be great. This sounds like a lot. This sounds a lot like the mark of the beast as described in Revelations 13:18, and I will never allow this to happen while I'm still drawing breath. Let's look at Mark 13:18, shall we? Let me find my Bible. Where's my stupid Bible? Hold on. Where did I put it? That's a Harry Potter book. That's not a Bible. I guess I can just look it up online. I just prefer to use my physical Bible because I'm used to it. I guess we're going to have to look it up. It's on the coffee table. Thank you. Hi, kitty. Mark 13:18? Mark 12, Mark 13:18. Let's take a look. The destruction of the temple and the signs of the end times. Jesus said unto them, I'm going to back up a little bit so we have the context, okay? Oh, Revelations 13:18. Sorry, thank you. I think I said Mark because it was the mark of the beast. Sorry. Revelations 13:18. Revelations is fun because it's basically someone's drug trip. 13:18. Okay, let's just read 13. It's relatively short. The beast out of the sea. The dragon stood on the shore of the sea, and I saw a beast coming out of the sea. It had 10 horns and 7 heads, with 10 crowns on its horns, and on each head a blasphemous name. The beast I saw resembled a leopard, but had the feet like those of a bear, and a mouth like that of a lion. The dragon gave the beast his power, and his throne and great authority. One of the heads of the beast seemed to have had a fatal wound, but the fatal wound had been healed. The whole world was filled with wonder and followed the beast. People worshipped the dragon because he had given authority to the beast, and they also worshipped the beast and asked, Who is like the beast? Who can wage war against it? The beast was given a mouth to utter proud words, and oh wait, no, I can skip ahead. The beast out of the earth is where this starts. Spoilers for TBR. True. Then I saw the second beast coming out of the earth. It had 2 horns like a lamb, but it spoke like a dragon. You know how dragons talk. We all know that. It exercised all the authority of the first beast on its behalf, and made the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast, whose fatal wound had been healed, and it performed great signs, even causing fire to come down from heaven to the earth in full view of the people. Because of the signs it was given power to perform on behalf of the first beast, it deceived the inhabitants of the earth. It ordered them to set up an image in honor of the beast, who was wounded by the sword and yet lived. The second beast was given power to breathe to the image of the first beast, so that the image could speak and cause all who refused to worship the image to be killed. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they would not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name. This calls for wisdom. Let the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. That number is 666. Hold on, yeah. So that's it. This has been used by conservative Christians multiple times. It's from Revelations anyway, which is, even for the Bible, pretty out there. It's basically someone taking mushrooms, but like way too many, like 20 grams of mushrooms or something, and then just having the craziest dream or whatever. And then they wrote it down, and Christians think it's prophetic. At least some Christians, evangelical Christians, let me put it that way. So they think this Mark of the Beast thing is literally going to happen. They think it's prophecy. And things that they have thought the Mark of the Beast will be include barcodes. You know, the things that are on literally every product. This Bible came with a barcode initially. It had like a wrapping with stuff on it. This had a barcode. Everything we buy has a barcode, right? They thought barcodes were the Mark of the Beast at one point. So forgive me if I don't trust random Christians, especially QAnon believers like Marjorie Taylor Greene, with deciphering not quite 2,000 years old, but quite an old text. Over a millennium old, let's say. I don't trust a high school dropout to do that, no offense. Anyway.
Who is running this country? Because when I look up there on that White House Earth cam, I don't see no snipers on the White House. And the White House looked clearly...
You're really not supposed to see the snipers. That's kind of the point. They are there, but you're not supposed to be like, oh, look, a sniper.
Empty to me.
Absolutely.
And I'm wondering about some things. Some things do not like. Something is going on up under our noses. Who is
that freeze out? And they did it with the weather warfare. That would be, you know,
weather warfare, like Cobra Commander's Weather Dominator. It's not bad.
The bunker fuel in the ocean and the pulling down the polar vortex, right? With the chemtrails. So they pulled it down and they hit all of Texas. As you know, it had a huge freeze. So yeah, that's what happened. And they usually do it from the Arecibo Observatory when they do their hurricanes and stuff, to pull the hurricane stuff through that Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico. But this time the Arecibo Observatory was down. So they did it through the Ecuadorian HARP facility. It was traced there. If you watch my videos, you would see the video. It traced all the way back to the Ecuadorian HARP facility, and that was China testing out their new weapons.
Feels like Tinfoil Tuesday up in here. Self-proclaimed prophet Hank Kuhnman says Christians must continue to believe that Trump won the election and will return to office because it's inconceivable that, quote, all of God's messengers, prophets, intercessors, and Christians were somehow wrong.
Is try to, quit, give up, point the finger, and then begin to think, well, you know what, all of this was just a smokescreen. No, that's what the enemy wants. Because it's a sad day if all of God's messengers, prophets, intercessors, Christians were somehow wrong, and the fake news that we know have been fake news were the voice of truth.
We literally cannot be wrong. We will not accept that as a conclusion. Therefore, we will contort reality into some sort of state where we can be right. That's not reasonable in any way, shape, or form.
It would take supernatural, another miracle. That miracle is coming. when I say a 9-0 thing at the Supreme Court, even if they deny it, I'm telling you, that election is getting pulled down. When you have 100% proof of an attack by a foreign country.
If you had that proof, Mike, then you would have actually succeeded in lawsuits. But you don't? So you lose. You see how that works? When you don't have evidence for the claims you're making, people don't take you seriously. Stick to cocaine and pillows. Ooh, new idea. Cocaine pillow. It's a pillow that's full of cocaine, so you can never sleep on it. It's your wake-up pillow. This is a good idea.
This is an attack on our country, not just, it's on all the people. You know, when Democrats were so afraid of the use of these machines as soon as last spring with Amy Klobuchar and others in the movie Kill Chain, you know, they were afraid. They're saying, and, you know, our election integrity has gone bye-bye if we have these machines. Well, then just because that's the party that got the benefit from this China attack, what's going to happen is everyone is a Democrat, and they're going to realize by the time we dump all this evidence that, wow, this is an attack by China. This election's going to get pulled down. And I'll say it on your show, I really believe that we will have our president that won 80 million to 66 million in office by August. And
I can't wait to see Peter's bullshit video on this. Remember when Copeland said he solved COVID back in last April? He blew it away. What a hero.
COVID-19! COVID-19! I blow!
Maybe that's the issue. Maybe he didn't understand it's a respiratory disease that's spread through particles in the air. And he just spread it everywhere, and that's why we find ourselves in our current predicament.
The wind of God!
The wind of God!
On you.
On you.
You are destroyed forever.
You are destroyed forever.
And you'll never be back.
And you'll never be back.
Thank you, our God.
Thank you, our God.
Let it happen.
Let it happen.
Cause it to happen.
Cause it to happen.
There are a lot of late-night talk show hosts that I think haven't exactly thrived under the new format of not having an audience in front of them. A good example of this, I think, is Stephen Colbert. Stephen Colbert's bits very much still have pause for audience laughter and applause, so the timing feels off without people there to laugh at it. He might have an audience again now, I'm not sure. But I know I caught some of his stuff over quarantine, over that period, and it felt awkward because he very much... he needs an audience to vibe off of. This feels very similar in that the creepiness of the evangelical chanting and claiming you're getting rid of a disease and repeating each other is so much creepier when there's not, like, a whole audience of people reacting.
State is full of rhinos, and primary among them is a guy named James Langford. He's a rhino of the highest order. He knows it, I know it, and you know it. And we have to replace James Langford, because if we don't replace him in this election cycle, he's going to be in office like Jim Inhofe for the next 30-something years, because right now, Langford has shown his true colors. We've seen things that most of us intrinsically knew, but he exposed himself because of the last year, 2020, and then what's happened this year.
Steven Crowder has been temporarily suspended from YouTube, if you didn't see, because he's a racist piece of shit. Have you seen his... Oh god, should I even play this? It's for informational purposes. This is a Steven Crowder bit that he deleted. I think this wasn't actually on YouTube. I think he posted it to Twitter, but he's also wiped his Twitter, so...
Hey, look, this leaf is red like Elmo's fur, and this leaf is brown like Wes's skin.
Tread lightly there, Elmo.
Elmo has what it is, Elmo. Elmo wants to know why what's-his skin is brown. Oh, I know why, Elmo. My mom and dad told me it's because of melanin. Right, Dad?
I ain't your dad.
Melanin? What's that?
Well, melanin is something we each have inside of our bodies that make the outside of our bodies the color that it is. It also gives us a competitive edge in all sports besides swimming. Yep, can't do that.
Fur color?
I don't know.
But if we all have melanin, why is Mr. Elijah's skin a darker brown than Wes's skin?
Oh, good question, Elmo. It's because Mr. Elijah likes fat white asses. The color of our skin is an important part of who we are. In fact, it's the only thing that matters anymore. That's it. Just skin.
And Elmo's fur is red and soft. And I sleep with a wave cap.
Things on the outside, like our hair color and our noses, mouth, and eyes, are...
This is a Steven Crowder bit. He basically took an actual video from Sesame Street and dubbed it over with all this bullshit.
Hated by the white man. That's why we're taking this city back. That's what we're gonna do, Elmo. Take it back and give it to the black man. Take it from the evil whites. That's what we're gonna do.
You in or you out, Elmo? Elmo's an ally. It's melanin where you burned down Mr. Hooper's general store? Yeah, but...
You get it. It ends with them giving drugs to Elmo. Steven Crowder's a piece of shit, if you don't know.
Touch not.
Self-proclaimed prophet Hank Kuhnman is very upset with those who call him a false prophet and the, quote, movie perverts who have touched the children, end quote, and those who troll him on Facebook.
There's two things the scripture is very determined about God. You don't attack the prophets. Psalm 105. Touch not my anointed. Do my prophets no harm. Now that's not...
The Bible also warns about false prophets, and you know how the Bible tells you to determine false prophets? It's pretty simple, actually. The Bible says if someone prophesies things and they don't come true, then that person is a false prophet. You prophesied that Trump would win the election and that the election was fraudulent and stolen, and you've been wrong on all of those counts, so as far as the Bible is concerned, you're a false prophet. Good job.
Not prophetic... a prophet's, that's just their handicap or their excuse. No, that God said that. And the second thing you don't do, which they've done, is you don't touch the children. Jesus said if you touch the children and they...
I find it so interesting that right-wingers have become so fundamentally unpopular on basically every social issue that they've retreated back to a point that everyone agrees on. Like 99.999% of the population, regardless of your political affiliation, agrees that pedophilia is awful. It's one of the worst things in existence. Like, that's not a bold stance to be like, I don't like pedophiles. Like, yeah, none of us do. Did you not understand that before? It's so interesting that they're so wrong on every issue that they have to basically make up a wedge issue, as if there's some group of people out there with any sort of political power that's like, you know what's great? No one does that.
They've done it through trafficking and other things. He said it would be better that a millstone be tied around your head than you cause one of these children to stumble. And there has been some very evil, dark, disgusting stuff at the hands of some of these politicians and even people that you think are movie stars. They're movie perverts.
That's right. Come
who
on.
have touched the children. And you didn't elect people to the high office.
What about Matt Gaetz? Question?
Of the land to do what they did to the children, and God has had enough. So when you get on there as trolls, do you ever think about the children and the parents that have lost their kids? This isn't a joke. So get off my Facebook.
Come on. That's right.
If your big, powerful sermon ends with "get off my Facebook," probably rethink your sermon. Claiming to have a source in, quote, close contact with Trump, QAnon conspiracy theorist Francine Fosdick insists that he and Melania never took the COVID-19 vaccine. Quote, they never got the shot. Come on, they're not that stupid.
President Trump said that him and Melania took the vaccine. I can't stress enough that he did not, and she did not. I mean, I have a close contact with him. He did not, guys, okay? He's talking about something else. I mean, he's been talking about HCP.
He took a placebo.
Right. Come on, guys. And okay, placebo. And every single person that faked that they got it and the government was a placebo too. They never got the shot. The jab with, mRNA. Come on, they're not that stupid. President.
I'd like to ask this lady in person, what's mRNA?
In this nation, it ought to be answered this week alone by the fact that our stimulus checks, the stimulus checks, 1,400 for every person in America, they're signed by Donald J. Trump, not Joe Biden.
They're not, though, but they're not.
There is a demonic hedge of protection around Joe Biden.
Ooh, demonic hedge, you say?
That's why he can say and do the most insane things with no backlash.
What kind of insane things?
So here's where we pray. God changed the way.
Are they signed? It's a reference to the fact that the last stimulus checks, the ones under Trump, were signed by Trump. Trump insisted they put his name on the checks. Biden did not, so they're not signed by Biden. They're not signed. They're probably, signed off on by the government or whatever. I don't know exactly how these have to be done. I don't use checks very often. But I don't think it works like a personal check now.
The way I pray for America. He helped me to understand how to pray. 2 Corinthians 10, verse 4. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they are mighty through God to the tearing down of strongholds. The Lord said, Mari, I want you to pray against the hedge of protection that's around Joe Biden and the leftists. Tear it down so that the nation will wake up from this spell.
Build the demonic hedge. Build the hedge. Build the hedge.
And
Thanks, Satan.
Understand that not only were they ripped off in their votes, that they're now going to have their children taken from them, their rights. They're going to have womanhood itself erased.
I hope not.
And somehow the scales will fall off the eyes of pastors, and a powerful move of God can begin if we.
Frustrating.
Saying Donald Trump will defend the afflicted among the people and save the children of the needy. Donald Trump will crush the oppressor. This was talking about Solomon. It's Solomon, but now God's igniting it. It's a rhema word specifically about Donald Trump.
It's both about Solomon and Trump somehow.
And he's saying Donald Trump, like Solomon, will defend the afflicted, like my son Jesus, okay?
She named her son oh, wait, no. She's probably referencing God saying that. For a second, I thought she named her son Jesus, which I thought was very funny.
And then it goes on. In his days, in Donald Trump's days, the righteous will flourish. What happened in Solomon's days?
Solomon Grundy, born on a Tuesday? No. Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday, christened on Tuesday. Wait. Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday, christened on Tuesday, married on Wednesday, grew on Thursday, got worse on Friday, died on a Saturday, buried on Sunday. This was the tale of Solomon Grundy.
They prospered enormously. And God's saying the same thing's going to happen. He said, in his days, in Donald Trump's days, the righteous will flourish. Prosperity will abound till the Lord is no more. For he will deliver the needy who cry out, the afflicted who have no one to help. He said, I'm going to use this man. Stand firm on it. Use this word that I'm giving you as a sword. You declare it. Donald Trump, God, you said Donald Trump will...
Isn't Solomon Grundy a zombie? Yeah. Solomon Grundy is named after the nursery rhyme, not the other way around.
Deliver the needy who cry out. Those cries that are going all over the land for help. God, you're going to use, they're going to put him back in the position where he'll be able to bring forth justice, and he will deliver the needy who cry out, the afflicted who have no one to help them, all the innocent babies, all the children, all those that are caught in sexual trafficking. We know this is going on. God's saying, I'm going to put this man in position so he can. I will do it through him. It's God that's doing it.
As far as homosexuality, this is what I heard. And I'm going to tell you something, and I want everybody to take heed. This is what I've heard from the Lord. Homosexuality is a cover-up.
Ooh, what am I covering up?
For an evangelist. People that are in that lifestyle are really called evangelists by the Lord.
Wait, I'm supposed to be an evangelist, but instead I, Okay, that's a good trade-off.
And this is a spirit that attacks that to stop it. So instead of just praying a lot of things right here, what I'm led to do is to call forth the gift of evangelism that God has placed on their lives to come forth, and it will drive that other out.
Comment? No, thank you.
So right now I call for the gift of evangelism, that call from God, that those that are bound up in homosexuality, that the evangelist anointing will come upon their lives, because that's what they are. And we say to the evangelist inside the homosexual, come forth, come out of that tomb and come forth.
Baja can come in my tomb anytime.
In Jesus' name.
Oh God, more Mike Pillow.
Frank coming out, which will be the biggest platform holding the most people ever, that I believe, the safest, the most secure, and we don't care what Mr. Apple does. We don't care what Benzoil from...
What Mr. Apple does? You mean Tim Cook? What?
Amazon does. We don't care what any of them do. If you're on my platform, you're going to have all the followers following you. It's reverse engineered. So all the podcasters and influencers come over. All the people immediately have to follow them, so they unsubscribe. So I've got Frank coming out, which will be the biggest platform holding the most.
Jesus.
Again, but I will tell you what the plan is. The plan is this. Right now, I'm launching that first documentary this week, tomorrow at noon. Then next week, I'm launching Absolute Interference. The week after that, we're going to be launching Absolute Cover-Up. Okay, but now in a parallel track, all the evidence now, we've checked out every IP address, the IDs of the computers. We have everything. It just came back yesterday. I'm so happy now. It's all we could right now. Bring it to the Supreme Court, and they would go 9-0. This is turned,
Good luck.
Okay, but Mike, for those of us who aren't lawyers, we don't understand. Right. You say we could bring it to the Supreme Court.
And I'm going to explain that. The reason we're not.
The Supreme Court is an appellate court. It's like, you'd have to take it to other courts first, Mike.
Okay.
You can't just go, hello, Supreme Court, we have a new case for you. That's not how it works.
The reason we're not, everybody, is because we've got some bad people on the Supreme Court that don't want to look at cases. We have bad judges in this country that don't want to look at stuff.
3 of the people on the Supreme Court were nominated by Donald Trump.
So what I've decided to do, this is Mike Lindell now, is I'm going to, over the course of the next 5 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks, I'm going to dump all this evidence for all to see every day on my new platform, Frank, where the world can't suppress it, where every single person, my audience, I believe, is a Democrat, just a Democrat that goes, wow, China attacked this. This came in, it's foreign interference. They came in and stole this election through these machines.
They didn't.
Dominion and Smartmatic.
Oh, is he still slandering Dominion? Oh, that lawsuit's going to be fun.
Everyone will get to see this over 5 weeks. I have a very coordinated plan here. Then I'm also putting a lawsuit with My Pillow against Dominion, countersuing of the public for free speech.
How are you going to sue Dominion as My Pillow? What has Dominion done to My Pillow that you haven't also done to Dominion? What are you talking about?
For
the Supreme Court does have original jurisdiction over certain cases, but for the most part only hears appeals previously ruled on. Yeah, I think it's like if a state sues another state, the Supreme Court has original jurisdiction. But outside of that, I don't think there's much else. I don't know. Not a lawyer.
The First Amendment rights. We're all doing this over the course of 5 weeks to show the world all the evidence, including 9 people on the Supreme Court and including their neighbors, their friends, everybody going, did you see this? Did you see this?
Do you think Mike's back on the drugs? Feels a little bit like it. Just saying, you know? Okay, that's probably good for today. Not the whole stream. Just the right-wing cope stuff. We gotta move on to the Matt Gaetz thing. So let's take a look.